Well, hello everyone, welcome to Farming Simulator 22, and I am playing on Hagenstedt, one of my favorite maps of all time. And as you can see, we are messing around with pumps and hoses, and let me give you a little background as to what's happening here. I've been playing around with this, and in fact I had like all these great plans. Well, I don't know if they were great, but plans of, kind of doing a video of me messing around with pumps and hoses, because I really haven't had a lot of time yet to mess around with this DLC. So I wanted to try it out. Just a few things, nothing special. I set up a basic BGA over there just for fun. I don't even think we'll get into that necessarily today, but primarily I wanted to just get some hose unwound. Boy, I said that weird. Get some hose unwound and just start trying, the basics. I have been having problems though. Constant problems of the hose disconnecting from my tanker pump. I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. So I am going to bring you along this time, and maybe you all can tell me what I am doing wrong, because it seems to me like I'm kind of just, it's not a complicated scenario. So maybe I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be, or what. But here's what we're going to do. I kind of have this set up a little bit backwards, but we should have enough horsepower on either tractor to do anything we want to here. So let's see here. So I'm going to change to unwinding, and I want to start unwinding the hose. And I'm going to start unwinding it here. And I'm just going to unwind. I think I've got 300 meters, I think. And I'm just going to unwind the hose as we go. Kind of do my thing, I hope everyone's having a good weekend. Relaxing, fun weekend. Drawing towards the end of it. If this video comes out Sunday night, which I was hoping for, but the way things have been going, I'm not so certain I'm even going to have a video for Sunday, which I really wanted to do. So my plan here is to have enough hose, which it seems like we've got plenty of hose for this field. I mean, this should be more than enough to be dragged around, I would think. We're just going to bring it over here. Wherever it ends is where it ends. And in fact, it looks like it's going to end exactly where I really didn't want it to. Of course, right? But you know what? We can actually make that work. So we're going to cruise over, and we're going to go grab our tank. Now, I'm using like the simplest of tools. No fancy configurations. I'm going to use this all-in-one pump. I couldn't get that to work at first. No matter what I tried, I could not get the pump to activate on this thing. So I don't know what I was doing wrong there. But then I finally quit the game. I went back into it, played around with it a little bit more, and got it to activate. So I got the pump working. And as soon as I thought I was good to go, I got the tank filled with water and slurry. As soon as I thought I was good to go, I started, everything was working, started putting, distributing slurry down, and every 10, 20 meters, it would disconnect. It would just disconnect on me from the pump side. I'd go back, I'd hook it up again, it would disconnect again. And I mean, the hose was not stretched out. It wasn't stretched out by any means. Okay, so here I am. Here. We're going to lower the tank. I'm using power tools to fill it. I'm going to fill it with slurry. I'm also going to fill with water. So we've got full slurry, full water. All right. It's lowered. I'm going to connect my hose. So we're good. It's lowered, so we're good. Leave the tractor running. Now, I've heard rumor, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, that there might be some mod conflicts with pumps and hoses. Now, I have very few mods in this setup here. In fact, I think the only mods I have are power tools and easy dev controls, because I wanted to make life a little easier with setting this up. I have the mobile workshop. I also had easy engine, is it easy engine start or easy engine mod? I thought that might be helpful, so I've gone ahead and gotten rid of that one. I also noticed that I had the air hose sound effect, so I got rid of that. Maybe I just don't have this hose set up, you know. Maybe I'm not getting the idea of how the hose needs to be laid out properly. And maybe that's the problem. I don't know. So I bring her over here, and we can connect the hose. So our hose is connected. I'm going to unfold my buddy. In fact, I'm even going to make it easy on myself and move forward a little bit so that arm, I know it'll flip around, but I'm going to do it this way anyways. And then I noticed that you need to lower the tool for application. So we're going to do that. It's not running. I know that. B to get her running. Ooh, that Valtra is just a shimmying, isn't it? I don't know what that, I don't know why it's doing that. And then I think we're ready, right? And it is putting down slurry. Let's see how far I get before. There, it just disconnected on me again. So I come over here. And the hose has been disconnected all the way. Where is the end of it? All the way here. But that doesn't make any sense, because I have plenty of hose. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. So let's say I bring the hose over more towards the middle of the field. I mean, is this just me not understanding the best way to lay the hose system out? Like, do I need to, is there a trick to this to where, oh yeah, you know, you have to make sure that one end is on the middle of the field? This thing's shimmying big time. I'm going to reconnect you. I'm going to lift this tank. I'm going to hope this tractor can pull this heavy. Oh yeah, it's doing all right. So we're going to go with the hose more towards the middle. I dropped it off over here. I think it has to be on the right side. Oh, brakes. Yeah, I think it has to be around the other way. So I'm going to turn around here this way. Okay. Man, that must be some serious weight. Maybe I need to adjust. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might need to adjust my brake pedal sensitivity a little bit because she does not want to stop. All right, we're connected again. We got a little bit of a kink there. Not thrilled with that. We got some shimmying going on. Not exactly sure what's happening there. Let's get rid of you. Yeah, that's weird how that thing is just a shaking. I'm going to go ahead and fire the pump up again. So the pump is fired up again. We've got this guy here. I think I can lower it for application once again. And are we applying? We are applying. So I'm looking at the hose. I would say that's about close to middle of field where that hose is going. Look how much hose I've got wrapping around here. I mean, that should be plenty, right? And let's see where it disconnects. If it disconnects again, I apologize. I'm not being super careful with how I'm laying this down. But it's like it wants to drag. Oh, I thought it just disconnected again. It did not. And I think when we get to the end, we can do a lift for the headland. And I'm going to spin around. Not being super cautious here. I probably should have done a headland. But right now, I'm just kind of trying to figure out why the disconnects. Lower for field. And no pump connected. Did it disconnect again? It did. It disconnected again. And there's plenty. I mean, I don't understand how much more hose do you need? I'm not getting it. Something ain't. I'm doing something. I want to blame the DLC or the game, but I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I just don't know what I could be doing differently. Let's hook you up. Let's disconnect the tank. And I think what I'm going to do, and actually, I don't know, is there a mod? I mean, store deliveries mod, power tools, and easy dev controls. And I don't think I have anything else enabled other than the DLCs. Huh. Let's go ahead and let's buy some more hose. We'll buy another 100 meters. I mean, that's got to be plenty, right? That's got to be plenty. And we will get you connected. I'm trying to think of how best to do this. So if I run more hose, like I can go to the middle here, and what is it? Z, start unwinding is Y. And I'm just going to go all the way. Do I need to, before I start, make sure that I have a full length of hose from one end of the field to the other? Is that what I'm doing wrong? So there's another 100. We'll bring our tank over here. And the plan is to connect all right, let's get this connected. I'm gonna have to, boy, he is just a shaking. He does not like that tank lowered at all. But let's bring our tank. I would just like to make it even one pass up and down the field. Without a disconnect. I would be happy with that. Okay. We're gonna. I think it has to be lowered, right, for it to start. What did that say? Does that say? Yeah, I think it has to be on the ground and then connected. Oh, I know why it was giving me that error or that message, because I don't have the hose connected over yonder here. So we're gonna grab. We'll grab this, the end of this orange hose. And should be able to run with this, by the way. Hey, Giants, can you make it so I can run with a wrench? I mean, it's not that dangerous. Now, this is interesting, because when I dropped that blue hose off, I thought I had dropped it. I must have been pulling it somewhat, so maybe, okay, maybe I was just pulling it. All right, so they're connected. Little glitchy. Little glitchy. Now, if that's not enough hose to do this field, I don't know what to say, you know? So now we're going to lower everything. And we're going to start spreading. I'm just going to try and... I mean, if it works, it's sweet. When it works, it's very cool. I'm just not having any luck keeping a hose connected for any length of time. Now, I did a quick search. I know I'm going to run over the hose. I have no idea if that's going to put us into a fourth dimension. I did a quick search, little Google foo, and I did see a couple forum posts with people having the same issue, with their hose constantly coming disconnected from the pump. And the responses I've seen from people, well, the pleasant responses I've seen from people, which, by the way, don't be a jerk in forums. People are looking for help, and just don't be a jerk. It's not fun. It's not funny. It might be fun, actually, because I know I used to enjoy doing stuff like that, but people are looking for help. Help them out. And if you don't know the answers, then, you know, just don't answer. If you think you can help them, try and help them. But anyways, so I saw a few jerky responses to the poor person who was asking for legitimate help. And then, now see, things are going a little bit better this time. I shouldn't have said that. But maybe I'm just not putting enough, wasn't putting enough hose down. I like it when it works. And oh, I'm sorry. Going back to the forum thing, that was the answer. 3 or 4 people said, "Yeah, you just need to put more hose down." One of them, I think, said something about different hose placement, and then another one called Pumps and Hoses DLC buggy, horrible, and wasn't going to use it until it got fixed. So I don't know. Apparently their experience with pumps and hoses has been mediocre at best. I mean, so far, I'm not going to say that for me. I think it's... Oh, I love that, though. I think, just based on what I'm seeing here, I think it's just going to be learning how to place hose. But personally, I think I had plenty of hose down without the blue hose, without adding the blue hose. But maybe there is a trick to... what button am I hitting here? The wrong button, Brad. Maybe there's a trick to, like, if you need to lay down enough hose so that it can, like, span the entire length of the field twice or something. Is that what it is? If you all know, let me know in the comments, because I would like to know. I'm going to play with it some more and see if I can get a better feel for it. But it seems like this is the best it's done for me, period. I mean, I wasn't getting more than 10, 20 meters without a disconnect. And I would look out on the field and there would be hose, clearly enough hose that could be dragged. But I think the way I'm seeing the hose dragging is working is not what I would expect it to work in real life in some instances. But this is actually, it's very satisfying. And now I don't think it was a mod conflict that was causing my problems. In fact, I think I can pretty much rule that, at least not any mod I was using. And I'm just watching how the hose physics are working and how it's dragging it. I tell you, in real life, I don't think you would be very thrilled with me running over it the way I am. That's for sure. So I think the trick ultimately is going to be, at least in my mind, is figuring out how much hose you need, and maybe equally important, how to put it down. On the plus side, I think that as far as the equipment goes and the way that the hose is managed as far as laying down the hose, I think is quite impressive. And I think, is it Creative Mesh that did this? I think they certainly deserve a great deal of kudos for the work they've done, and I'm quite certain we will see from at least my understanding, probably some patches or a patch, an update for this hose and pumps and hoses. This is not something I thought I would ever see in Farm Sim, or at least not something I thought I would see soon in Farm Sim. I mean, when you think about it, that looks really good. the hoses look like they have weight and volume to them. I think, you know, overall I have to give it a high score. I just, it was my first attempt at it was extremely frustrating for a while. I mean, I've been playing this for about an hour before I started recording with the frustration of the hose disconnects, and I thought, you know what? I finally said, I'm going to bring you all along. I'm going to show you what I have going on and see if any of you have any suggestions. I'm just checking out my status of how much. So it doesn't use a lot of water, does it? Oh, it's still pumping water too. Yeah, I think I heard that too, that it'll continue to pump water, but it's not pumping the slurry. Okay. So if I kill the pump, the water stops. All right. It looks like the shimmying has stopped. Oh, no. She likes to shimmy when, maybe that's realistic. Maybe running this thing and having that PTO flying is... Does that... Do tractors do this when they're running a PTO like that? I honestly don't know. I'm going to turn you off. What am I doing here? I'm going to fold, detach umbilical first. Okay, can I do that from within the tractor? I can. Okay. And then I want to fold you. The only other thing I wanted to try, because I'm not going to make you all suffer through watching me play with how to place hoses on a field, but I would love any suggestions you have to offer, that's for sure. The only other thing I kind of wanted to try out, and I don't know how it works, but I thought it'd be interesting, is the cleanup afterwards. Now, can I... Let's see here. I'm going to assume I can't... can I set this down in one piece? And leave it in one piece? Good. Okay. So, somewhere here, is it this thing? Is this the air? That's the air compressor, right? For cleaning out stuff? You need a compressor to clean umbilical hoses. Okay. Well, let's grab that. I've got a little BGA set up over there, and I thought we would have time, and I was going to be able to mess around with that a little bit more. It's probably not a lot more to it than a normal BGA. I just kind of wanted to get a feel for it a little bit more, but can do that on another video. So if I grab this compressor, what do we do with this thing? I'm assuming you hook it up to one end of the hose and just go to town with the air. How does it want to connect? I'm not getting a... Okay. After doing some soul searching and taking a deep breath, I think I figured this out now. Wow. I hope I am not the only person that has gone through this, but I didn't want to edit this out because, well, I think it'd be cheating on my part if I made it look like, you know, I figured it out instantly. So it looks like you have to clean the hose with everything attached. So I've got everything attached, including my slurry injector, the whole 9 yards. And then I noticed now it says that the umbilical hose is clogged by 0. I think I can now clean. Yeah, and I heard the air go through. And it looks like it has indeed cleaned all the hose. Okay. And the pump wasn't running here. Didn't need to be. You just need to leave that. And actually, that's kind of handy. I'm not entirely sure then how air goes. So it must be the compressor must. Okay, so there's an actual air line, I guess, maybe that runs and is connected to the front 3-point. And there must be an air line, maybe that little thin line right there. One of those thin lines must shoot enough air through there to clean out clogs. And it kind of makes sense because I guess if there were clogs or slurry or digestate still in the hose, it would force it back up and maybe back into the tank. Maybe that's why it works that way. Okay. Well, that is my adventure or misadventures of pumps and hoses for me today. I feel a little defeated, but I am going to figure out this hose layout better as I go. But hey, everyone, thank you again for joining me here Sunday night. Probably a little later than I expected once I get this uploaded, but thanks again for joining me. I do appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow morning, Monday morning, for another episode of Boot Churn. You all take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.